I call the Bristol, Tennessee Better Property Board to order for September the 3rd, 2020. First order of business is roll call. My name is Pam Alfield.
Randy Cook.
John Cartwright.
Wayne Humphrey. Lonnie Barrett.
Okay, we have all 5 members of our board here with us so we can conduct business. The next is the discussion of the necessity of conducting electronic meetings. And Danielle, let you take over.
Yes, Chairwoman. As you all know by now, Governor Lee has suspended the provisions of the Open Meetings Act to the extent necessary to allow governing bodies such as this one to meet electronically rather than having to meet physically in one location. In order to do so, the governing body has to make a finding that meeting electronically is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19. And so you all need to, if you need to have a discussion about that, it would be appropriate to have that discussion. But if you don't need to have a discussion, then you can go ahead and vote. And your vote would be whether it's appropriate to have a meeting electronically. Please vote by roll call. And as I said before the meeting, but just to repeat in public, if you are participating by video, and this goes for both members of the board and staff, if you are participating by video so that the public cannot see who is speaking, I would ask that you identify yourself when you speak or when you vote. Does anybody have any questions?
I have none. Is there any further discussion by the board members about this item? Then I'll call.
Madam Chairman, this is Wayne Humphrey.
Go ahead, Wayne.
This is Wayne Humphrey, and I move that in favor of holding the meeting electronically.
This is Randy Cook. I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second on the floor that we hold this meeting by electronic means. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Randy?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Lonnie?
Aye.
And Pam? Aye. Therefore, the motion is carried and we'll have this electronically. Now, first, before we go into minutes, I do want to welcome Lonnie as our new member of the board, even though he's an old member of the board. I don't know whether to call him a new member, old member, or what to call him, but welcome back to the board, Mr. Lonnie. We're very glad to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes for July the 23rd of 2020? Do I hear any corrections or additions to those minutes? Hearing none.
Madam Chairman, this is Wayne Humphrey, and I move that we approve the minutes as submitted.
This is Randy Cook. I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor that we approve the minutes of July the 23rd, 2020 as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Randy?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Lonnie?
I guess it might be a point of order. I wasn't there. I did read the minutes, so
You didn't get it. You didn't get it in your packet?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I understand completely why you would not vote on that because you weren't there to say whether it was correct or not. Well, we still have a 3 and we're definitely got a majority rule. So we will approve the minutes for July the 23rd of 2020 as written. So we're going on to preliminary investigations. And our first one is 1141 Indian Hills Drive.
So this property came to us several years ago. We've had several open cases on it. My first dealing with it was in the late 2018. And we opened a new case on it in early 2019. In July, we appeared in court with this property due to the junk and debris, inoperable unregistered vehicles. There was some overgrowth at that time. And now the property has been posted unfit due to unfit living conditions. There's water damage on the inside of the home. There's still inoperable unregistered vehicles, and the exterior in the front and the back has been cleaned up since the court order, but there's some new issues that have arose since then with some other junk and debris. So the staff is requesting that we have a public hearing for this property at the September 24th, 2020 meeting, and we will perform a damage assessment and present it to you all at that public hearing.
Good.
Madam Chairman, this is Wayne Humphrey, and I move that we schedule 1141 Indian Hills Drive for a public hearing at our Better Building Board August 9th, 24, 2000.
At what date, Wayne?
September the 24th, 2000. Did I say August?
Uh-huh.
And
2020.
1920. Due to the deterioration, water damage in the interior, and unregistered vehicles on the property, junk and debris.
This is Randy Cook. I'll second that motion too.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor that we have a public hearing on the property located at 1141 Indian Hills Drive at the September 24th, 2020 meeting due to junk and debris, unfit living conditions, water damage to the inside of the home, and inoperable and registered vehicles on the property. Is there any further discussion? Is anyone living in that house?
No, it's been posted unfit since March 13th of 2020, and no one has been living inside the home since then. And I will go ahead and add that they have been under a $50 a day civil penalty ordered by since August of 2019.
So they're still under that?
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye. Randy?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
John? Lonnie?
Aye.
Let the record show the motion is carried and we will have a public hearing at 1141 Indian Hills Drive at the September 24th, 2020 meeting. Going on to 1208 Windsor Avenue.
We have had active cases on this property throughout the years for overgrowth. We have been cutting this property every year since 2015 up until this year. Someone has started taking care of it. As far as the overgrowth goes, it has been vacant for several years as well. There is some dilapidation on the house. There's a dilapidated accessory structure in the back. And according to the neighbors, there is possible termite damage. We haven't performed a damage assessment, but we will have that at the hearing if that's what is ordered.
What makes the neighbors think there's got termites in that house?
It's new neighbors that moved in right next door, and they had an inspector come out and just check around. And that's what they're getting their information from. Codes hasn't formally done an inspection as far as interior. But our next step is, if we're granted a public hearing, is to get that damage assessment done.
Okay.
So staff is requesting a public hearing on the property at the September 24th, 2020 meeting.
Is the photo, Madam Chairman, this is Wayne Humphrey, is the photo that we see that looks like it's a lap siding? I really don't know what kind of material that is. It's the photo where the corner of the structure is not. There's no corner board there. If you can follow what I'm asking about there, I want to know whether that's the home itself or that's the outbuilding.
This photo is the outbuilding. The only picture of the home that showed is this very first picture, where it's the front
Okay.
part of the house, and you can see some roof damage there as well, on the house. But these other two photos are the accessory structure in the back.
Okay, so we're gonna have a public hearing on both the house and the accessory building?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that would be counted as just one, as a property at whole, or if we would need to do two separate orders on those.
Can we do the property located at,
I would think so.
and that would cover both of them?
Yes.
I would write the order as against that entire property and have the entire, and because it's going to be owned by one person, as long as it's one parcel owned by one person, then write the order for the.
So we only have to do one motion then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, gentlemen? The chair will entertain a motion to have a public hearing on the property located at 1208 Windsor Avenue at the September 24th, 2020 meeting.
Madam Chair, this is Randy. I move that we have a public hearing on the property at 1208 Windsor Avenue at our 24 September 2020 meeting due to apparent roof damage and a dilapidated accessory structure in the backyard.
This is Lonnie. I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor that we do have a public hearing at 1208 Windsor Avenue on the property located there due to roof damage, accessory building in the back that is dilapidated, and possible termite damage. Any further discussion on this? All in favor say aye. Randy?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Bonnie?
Aye.
Okay, that the motion is carried, and we will have a public hearing at 1208 Windsor Avenue on the property located thereon at the September 24th, 2020 meeting. Now we're going on to 120 Esther Street.
So this property was alerted to me by police due to them having to respond on a call for abandoned animals being inside the home. While they were out there, they noticed that the side porch as well as the outbuilding is dilapidated. There's junk and debris. There's overgrowth. There's unmaintained siding, and the living conditions are unsanitary as well. So staff is requesting a public hearing at the September 24th, 2020 meeting. And again, we will do a damage assessment before the public hearing.
Okay, I make a motion that we have a public hearing for 120 Esther Street at the September 24th, 2020 meeting due to the reports from the police of abandoned animals, conditions inside the house being deplorable, the home and porch dilapidated, trash and debris around the home.
This is Randy. I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor that we have a public hearing at the September 24th, 2020 meeting on the property located at 120 Esther Street. Due to report of animals being abandoned, the conditions inside the home are deplorable. The side of the home and porch are dilapidated, piles of trash and debris around the home. Is there any further discussion on this property?
Madam Chairman, this is Lonnie. Cheyenne, is that property is not occupied, is it?
It is not. No, it's been vacant for at least this year.
No animals inside, are there?
The animal control did pick up the animals.
There was animals inside it.
There were animals inside, yes.
Lovely. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Randy?
Aye.
Wayne,
Aye.
John, Lonnie.
Aye.
The record shows the motion is carried, and we will have a public hearing on the property located at 120 Esther Street at the September 24th, 2020 meeting. Now, we have no public hearings as of this date for this month, and we have no trash and debris being brought to our attention. We have no old business being brought to our attention. So we're going on to a progress report, and the first one is 2100 Anderson Street. Cheyenne?
So when we originally came with this property, there was someone living in a camper outside. There was inoperable unregistered vehicles. There was junk and debris and trash, and it was overall just deplorable conditions. They have since removed the inoperable unregistered vehicles. The vehicle that you see pictured here is operable and registered. They have removed the camper as well. We are asking to close this file.
That's good news.
Madam Chairman, this is Wayne Humphrey. I move that we close the file at 2100 Anderson Street due to current compliance.
This is Randy Cook. I'll second the motion.
And we have a motion and a second on the floor that we close the file on the property located at 2100 Anderson Street due to the compliance of all requested items. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Randy?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
John? Lonnie?
Aye.
Let the record show the motion is carried, and we're going to close the file on 2100 Anderson Street. Hopefully we won't have them back again for a while. Now we're going on to 1133 Anderson Street.
So we've had an active case on this property for some time now, and there was fire damage early last year, and we haven't seen any changes. The permit that they had is now expired. There's still tarps on the roof. No recent work has been done. The contractor, Mr. Modern, did submit a new set of plans, but they were lacking some information, and we are waiting for resubmittal of those plans now, and we still have not received those. This has been about, I would say, right at 3 weeks that we're waiting on the resubmittal of the new plans. So at this point, we're leaving this next decision up to the board.
Has his property ever been to court?
I don't think so.
You think that's what it's going to take to jack them up and get them to do something?
I mean, it might be a good idea, and maybe Danielle can give us information on what our options are as far as court. I've never taken a dilapidated structure.
That's been under repair
Yeah.
for lack of time and element. What do you think, Danielle?
Well, I would suggest that Diane and Matt and I sit down next week and talk about a strategy for this property, whether it's municipal court or a different court, or, bring it back for a different order from this board. And maybe we can talk about this at the September 24th meeting.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, this is Wayne Humphrey. Is there any possibility that the folks might, prior to our 9/24 meeting, come in with those revised plans to give us some better direction to follow?
They might. Yes, they might. But since it's been 3 weeks since he's been before, he doesn't seem to be in any hurry. But yes, they definitely might. And Danielle and Matt can be talking about it this week as to what we can do in order if for some reason they don't come in with those plans.
Well, we only been working on it 3 years.
Yeah.
You mean what, 3 more weeks versus 3 more years?
Yeah.
Well, that's this is Wayne Humphrey. I would make a motion that we have a progress report at 1133 Anderson Street at the 9/24 meeting, and at that point in time, we can take more definitive action if needed.
This is Randy Cook. I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor that we have a progress report at the 9/24/20 meeting on the property located at 1133 Anderson Street, which at time we can see if another plan has been submitted to us as to what their progress will be or what type of progress the city can do in order to get them to actually get the work completed as requested. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Randy?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
John? Lonnie?
Aye.
If the record show the motion is carried, so we will have an up-to-date progress report at the 9/24/2020 meeting on the property located at 1133 Anderson Street. Now we're going on to 124 16th Street. Cheyenne?
Sorry, I was muted.
That's all right.
So the board issued a order to repair earlier this year for this property. There was previously an order to demolish on it, and that was rescinded, and then an order to repair was issued. At work here, they've removed all the inoperable unregistered vehicles. They're keeping the grass cut. They're actively working on it. They've had a rough electrical inspection and footer inspection performed and passed. And given that they are continually working on it, I see them out there weekly. We're requesting that we do a progress report at the December meeting.
At December meeting, and what date will that be?
I'm not sure if a date has been selected for the December meeting yet.
It's usually the
First
first
Thursday.
Thursday, isn't it?
That's December the 3rd.
Yeah, December the 3rd is the first Thursday.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, this is Randy Cook. I move that we have a progress report on the property at 124 16th Street at our December 3rd, 2020 meeting, assuming that the board decides to meet on that date.
And for what reason, Randy?
Sorry. They continue to make progress. No reason to shut them down.
Madam Chairman, this is Wayne Humphrey, and I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second on the floor that we have a progress report at the December 3rd, 2020 meeting, if that's the day it's going to be, on the property located at 124 16th Street due to the progress that is occurring on this particular piece of property. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Randy?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
John? Lonnie?
Aye.
Let the record show the motion is carried, and we will have a progress report at the December 3rd, 2020 meeting on the property at 124 16th Street. And maybe by that time they will be done. Wouldn't that be great? That'd be wonderful. All right, we're going on to our next property, which is 1709 Maryland Avenue.
Boy.
So we're all familiar with this one. We've had this one for a long time now on the board. Completed the windows. The guttering has been corrected in the front. Our only issue that we had for the last 2 months is that big junk pile in the backyard, and now it's overgrown. I've been in contact with Mr. Rock several times within the last month, and he gives me the same answer every time. He's going to get it this weekend, and it's never been removed. So our really only other option is to go to court for the junk and debris as well as the overgrowth. This will be, if we go back to court, this will be our third time issuing a summons for this property and this property owner.
On this one, it said the judge found the property to be in compliance and dismissed all charges back in June.
Yes, and that was there was no junk and debris at that time. So the reason we went back to court in June was because of the
House itself?
house. Well, not really the house itself, but just the unmaintained guttering. We went after that, as well as the property being unsecure. And they had since then, when we went back to court, everything was in compliance. And then after that court date, that's when that junk pile appeared in the backyard. So I'm assuming they were doing more work after the court date, and that's where that came from.
Okay, so we need to bring this back under trash and debris, or just back under a progress report still?
I would
It'd
say
be under
progress.
trash and debris.
Pardon?
It ought to be under trash and debris if that's what we're trying to get cleaned up.
But if it's under trash and debris, don't we have to go through the whole 9 yards of having a preliminary investigation and public hearing? Danielle?
Well, this seems like it's almost as if there's a new case going on.
I know, that's what it seems to me like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But how can you have two cases? One, we've not closed out the house case, and now we've got trash and debris on top of that. Can you have a second case going on, one that's still currently existing, whereas we haven't closed the file on that problem?
Well, I you can have the two cases going on, but the problem I see is that the trash and debris hasn't really come to the Better Property Board before.
That's correct.
That's understanding, right? So you would need to order a preliminary investigation to get that going before the Better Property Board.
Right. So we
Madam
need to-
Chairman, this is what,
And I think you
Madam
can
Chairman, this
say-
is Wayne Humphrey.
Yes, Wayne.
Madam Chairman, yes, I make a motion that we schedule 1709 Maryland Avenue for a public hearing at the September 24th meeting due to trash and debris on the premises.
A public hearing or a preliminary investigation and then go to a public hearing?
Madam Chairman, I think you can go ahead and order the public hearing to happen at the next meeting, because there's no notice requirement for you to order staff to do a preliminary investigation prior to a public hearing.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Thank you, Wayne. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't have to start at the top and work our way down again.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the date on that for September?
24th.
Yes, for the September 24th meeting.
Thank you.
This is Randy Cook. I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor that we have a public hearing at the September 24th, 2020 meeting on the property located at 1709 Maryland Avenue under trash and for trash and debris. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Randy?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
John? Lonnie?
Aye.
Okay, let the record show that the motion is carried. So 1709 Maryland Avenue will be brought back to the board at the September 24th meeting under public hearings. Okay. Is there anything else that need to be brought before the board before we adjourn? Then I declare this board adjourned by common consent.